Now let's talk about a big story from India. Indian stock markets could soon see their biggest ever IPO. Car maker Hyundai is planning to go public. Hyundai is a South Korean car company. Its Indian subsidiary is planning a public listing. It could be valued at $30 billion. Hyundai plans to raise up to $3 billion through this IPO. After a sharp dip on election result day, Indian markets are near record highs again. Will this listing boost India's stock market further? Here's a report.
India is the world's third biggest car market, also perhaps one of the hardest to crack. So when a company like Hyundai makes an ambitious bet, it's worth taking note. Hyundai's India unit is making plans to go public. Hyundai is planning an IPO or an initial public offering where shares of the company are offered for the first time to the public. It is India's second largest car maker, possibly valued at around $30 billion. Hyundai's South Korean parent plans to sell up to 142 million shares, that's about 17.5% of its stake in the Indian subsidiary. The plan is to raise anywhere between $2.5 to $3 billion. Hyundai has committed to invest another $4 billion in the next decade. Hyundai has also identified 3 potential areas of expansion. Hyundai has already invested $5 billion in India. The funds that will be raised is expected to fuel the next phase of expansion: premiumization or selling more expensive cars, electric vehicles, and stepping up car exports from India. There are also some new goals Hyundai wants to achieve with this move beyond funding the expansion. The car maker hopes to also improve its visibility and brand image. India is Hyundai's third biggest revenue generator, so an expansion makes sense. The listing could also create some records. Hyundai's public listing could be the biggest India has seen yet. The last major IPO in India was in 2022. That's when the state-owned Life Insurance Corporation of India, or LIC, listed on the exchanges. LIC raised around $2.45 billion from its IPO. Since 2021, India has seen a wave of new listings. Major brands like Zomato, Paytm, Nykaa and Policybazaar have gone public. But early investors in these companies have suffered losses. Can Hyundai break that jinx? Well, the numbers are in its favor, but Hyundai faces a difficult market too. India's market for cars is growing. By 2026, India's auto industry is expected to be valued at $300 billion, but it is a highly competitive space. There are at least 15 major players competing for a slice of this market. Companies like Hyundai face a tough challenge from the homegrown players like Maruti Suzuki, Tata and Mahindra. There are also many cautionary tales. Major car companies like Ford, Fiat and Chevrolet entered India with much fanfare, but they failed to gain a sizable presence. Ultimately, they had to exit. In comparison, Hyundai now has considerable experience in India. It has been selling cars in the country for 28 years. So it should feel confident about its chances.